Hi guys, Rob Davis, eXp Australia, and I'm going to take just a few minutes of your time today to work through the numbers to help you understand commission splits as they have been happening across Australia. And boy, I wish someone would have taken the time to share this with me at different points in my career over the years so that I understood what I was actually agreeing to. And of course, I wish there was a company like eXp in Australia years ago. Guys, I'm going to start sharing my screen shortly, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this video, and just think of the potential you have. Hello, welcome. I'm Rob Davis, and I want to invite you to this presentation about commission splits and how to avoid the smoke and mirrors and know your numbers. Knowing your numbers is a fundamental precept of business, said Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. Stephen Covey, the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, says, "I'm not a product of my circumstances, I'm a product of my decisions." As real estate agents, we often forget we are actually in business for ourselves and our families, and we owe it to our loved ones to do the best we can with the opportunities available to us. Until now, most real estate agents in Australia have worked on a non-capped commission split with their respective companies. What is a cap? A cap is a dollar amount of settled GCI, at which point the company stops taking any portion of the rep's commission. For example, if you're on a 70-30 split with your company and the cap is 100,000 GCI, then once you have settled 100,000 GCI, you as the sales agent keep 100% of all future commissions settled by you in that year. Here are some common industry commission splits. There's the 40-60 split, the 50-50 split, which is so common across Australia, the 60-40 split, which people think they're getting a great deal. There's the 70-30 split, and the 80-20 split. Now, there are, of course, many different options and variables included. Some include super, some don't. Some include some marketing money, some don't. Some include a desk fee, some don't. So it really just depends on individual offices and what they're offering. But for this purpose, we're just reviewing the commission splits. When looking at a potential new real estate company's commission split, you need to look at the bottom line, not the top line. The bottom line is what you keep, not what you are promised. Let's look at some examples. A 50-50 commission split, the company keeps half and the rep keeps half of the commissions as they settle. Here's a look at how that breaks down over several different GCI levels. We'll start at the beginning. If a rep settled $100,000 in a year, the rep would pay $50,000 to the company and have a net gross income of $50,000. So in essence, in a very real way and in very real terms, the company share of the commission is the amount of money paid by the sales agent to work for the company. So even at the $100,000 level mark, you can see that paying $50,000 to the company is a significant and major investment. At the $300,000 writing level, you're paying $150,000 to the company. At 500, you're paying $250, and at $750,000 written for the year, you're paying $375,000. And probably most shocking of all, and I recently heard of an agent still on the 50-50 split, they're writing $1 million a year, and they are paying $500,000 to the company for the privilege of working for that company. Now, here's a little side note. If you're in that category and you've given a company $500,000 a year to work for it, please, whatever you do, don't tell your family and don't tell your partner that you've just given away investment properties, new cars, global vacations and holidays. Don't tell your partner that they're still doing their job because you haven't chosen a good company to work with a 50-50 split. Here's the 60-40 split. Now, it's similar, but you can see it's leaning more towards the reps direction, and so it should. Real estate agents work very hard in the prospecting, the appraising, the listing, the marketing, the negotiations, the sales, the after sales conditions that need to be settled. And all of those things take time, energy, and effort, and the sales rep should be highly rewarded. Here's the 80-20 split. Now this is getting at the top of the tree across Australia. There are slightly different varied situations of this, but you can see at $100,000 GCI level, you're earning good money. At 500, you're earning great money. And at $1 million, who could complain if there's not any other options available to you? But what if you had a cap? Here's what it would look like on a 70-30 split with a $100,000 cap. Remember, a cap is a point at which the company stops sharing the rep's commission. And in fact, the rep keeps 100% of the commission. So at the $100,000 GCI mark, the rep would pay $30,000 to work and get a $70,000 income. Across Australia, in many locations, if you earn $70,000, you're above par. If you've settled $200,000 in GCI and you've still paid $30,000 to work, you've now got $170,000 in net gross income. Moving to 300, you'd have $270,000 in net gross income to yourself as the rep. At $750,000, that $30,000 would be paid. However, you would have a net gross income of $720,000. And back to our friend, at $1 million GCI, they would have paid in only $30,000 and they would have a net gross income of $970,000. Now with EXP, you have the opportunity to recoup that $30,000 that you've paid to the company back in company stock if you become an Icon agent. This means for good performing agents, they really aren't out of pocket at all. On this slide, we look at income levels compared by model and split. So I hope by now you realize there are two different models. There is a capped model and a not capped model, which means that in one business structure, there is a limit to how much of the commission the company takes. In the other models, depending on the percentages, that money keeps being split over and over and over throughout the year. So let's be optimistic and say that you're on the $300,000 level. You would have paid $30,000 to work with EXP Australia, and your net gross income would have been $270,000. If you compare that with a person on the 50-50 no cap model, they've only earned $150,000. Now, go home to your partner or your family and say, look, because of the decisions that I've made, we're $70,000 less better off than we were. If you're on the 60-40 split, you would have earned $180,000. And even if you're on the generous 80-20 split, you would have still earned $30,000 less for the year for doing the exact same work. For those of you at the money end of town, it's even a better picture. When you have written $750,000, you would have had a net gross income of $720,000. If you're on the old model of a 50-50 split, your income would have only been $375,000. If you were on a 60-40 split, you would have moved up to $450,000. And on the 80-20 model, you would have generated $600,000. If you are in the $1 million category, you would have paid your $30,000. You would have had an income of $970,000. However, if you were still stuck in one of those old traditional models, you would have only generated either $500,000, $600,000, or in best case scenario, $800,000. That means Choosing the right model is absolutely crucial to your financial wealth and health moving forward. You can see even just by selecting a different brand, you may actually have $170,000 more income in your pocket. There are many reasons to choose to work for a company, but we're sure you know your numbers and don't fall for the smoke and mirrors often promised. Make no mistake, in the old real estate model, you as the rep are a cost of doing business. Due to large overheads, it is in the company's best interest to pay you, the rep, the lowest commission split they can persuade you to accept. At eXp Australia, we are an agent-owned cloud-based real estate company focused on providing a platform to help agents like you build a brand within a brand. You as the agent are our co-owner and our client. eXp Australia is your low-cost, high-income option when it comes to choosing your next real estate home. At eXp Australia, we're part of the eXp Realty family globally with 26,000 plus agents and growing every day. We have a great culture with positive energy. We're cloud-based with work anywhere technology. We have generous commission splits with a cap. We offer ongoing real estate training. We have a revenue share generating extra income for you as you share the eXp Australia story with your colleagues and people you know in the industry. We offer stock awards, and we have no franchise fees and no desk fees. There's a very low startup investment and low ongoing costs. What are the costs? Well, there's a joining fee of $199 plus GST, which makes it $218.90. Then there's an ongoing monthly fee of the same amount. And each transaction, you'll pay a fee of $250 plus GST. Total due at the start is $437.80, including GST. Here's a Richard Branson quote in summary to think about. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure if you can do it, say yes, and then figure out how to do it later. Join eXp Australia today. Contact the person who shared this video with you or visit our website at expaustralia.com.au and click on the Join eXp tab and fill out the form. Thanks for watching this video.